Karen's voice boomed like a foghorn through the quiet cul-de-sac, her words dripping with the kind of self-righteous venom that could curdle milk. "You're not getting in, Sophia. Not until you pay the fines," she bellowed, her chins wobbling as she planted herself in front of the community gate like a human barricade. Sophia Martinez stood frozen, her car idling behind her, the weight of a long workday pressing down on her shoulders. All she wanted was to get home, kick off her shoes, and collapse onto her couch. Instead, she was locked out of her own neighborhood by Karen, the HOA president who ruled their suburban enclave like a dictator with a clipboard. The fines. A ridiculous $500 for a non-compliant mailbox Sophia had installed a sleek, modern design that Karen deemed an eyesore despite it meeting every city code. Karen's reign of terror wasn't new. For years, she'd strutted through Maple Grove estates, her oversized sunglasses perched on her nose, issuing citations for everything from slightly overgrown lawns to unapproved holiday decorations. She thrived on power, her smug grin widening with every neighbor she intimidated. Sophia, a single mom and paralegal, had always kept her head down, paying her dues and avoiding Karen's wrath. But tonight, something snapped. "Karen, I paid the HOA fees," Sophia said, her voice steady but edged with exhaustion. "The mailbox is legal. You can't block me from my own home." Karen's laugh was a grating cackle, loud enough to draw curious glances from neighbors peeking through their blinds. "Legal? I decide what's legal here. Honey, you should have thought twice before defying the covenants." She gestured to the gate, where a shiny new padlock gleamed under the streetlights. "No payment. No entry. Simple as that." Sophia's hands clenched into fists. She'd spent years navigating courtrooms, drafting motions, and fighting for clients' rights. She wasn't about to let this petty tyrant win. But as she opened her mouth to argue, Karen leaned closer, her perfume overwhelming, and hissed, "Don't test me, Sophia. I can make your life hell." The threat hung in the air like smoke. Across the street, Mr. Thompson, a quiet retiree, shuffled out to grab his mail, his eyes darting nervously between the women. Beside him, Jenny, a college kid home for the summer, hovered with her phone, no doubt recording the drama for social media. Sophia felt the weight of their stares, the humiliation of being treated like a criminal in her own neighborhood. But humiliation was a spark, and Sophia was gasoline. "Fine," she said, her voice low and dangerous. "You want to play gatekeeper? Let's see how that holds up in court." She turned on her heel, climbed back into her car, and drove off, leaving Karen smirking in triumph. But Karen had no idea what was coming. Sophia didn't go far. She pulled into a gas station lot, her heart pounding, and called her friend Lila, an attorney who specialized in property law. "Lila, she locked me out," Sophia said, her voice trembling with rage. "Karen chained the gate and won't let me in over a stupid mailbox fine." Lila's response was immediate. "That's illegal. HOAs can't restrict access to your property without due process. Send me the covenants and any notices she's given you. We're fighting this." For the next 2 days, Sophia stayed with her sister across town, her anger simmering as she gathered evidence. She dug through emails, HOA bylaws, and city ordinances, her paralegal instincts kicking into overdrive. Karen's fines were baseless. Her mailbox complied with every regulation, and the HOA's own rules didn't grant Karen the authority to lock anyone out. Sophia also found a pattern, Karen had targeted other neighbors, especially newcomers or single parents like her, bullying them into compliance with threats of liens or eviction. On the third day, Sophia returned to Maple Grove Estates, armed not with a check for Karen's fine, but with a cease and desist letter drafted by Lila. The neighborhood was buzzing. Jenny's video of the gate incident had gone viral on social media, racking up thousands of views and comments calling Karen a suburban dictator. Sophia parked her car, stepped out, and marched toward the gate, where Karen stood, oblivious to the storm brewing. "Back to beg," Karen sneered, her arms crossed, a new clipboard clutched like a scepter. Sophia held up the letter, her voice calm but razor-sharp. "This is a cease and desist order. You violated state law by denying me access to my property. Unlock the gate, or I'm filing a lawsuit against you and the HOA." Karen's face twisted into a scowl. "You're bluffing. You can't afford a lawyer." "Oh, I don't need to afford one," Sophia said, a small smile tugging at her lips. "I work for one. And trust me, Karen, we've got you dead to rights." The crowd that had gathered Mr. Thompson, Jenny, and a few other neighbors murmured in surprise. Karen's confidence faltered, her eyes darting to the letter in Sophia's hand. "This is nonsense," she sputtered. "I'm protecting the neighborhood's standards." "Standards?" Sophia shot back. "You're extorting people for power. I've got emails, fines, and witness statements proving you've been abusing your position for years. Unlock the gate, or we'll see you in court." Karen's face reddened, her mouth opening and closing like a fish out of water. For a moment, it seemed she might double down, but the weight of the neighbors' stares and the viral video's fallout hit her. With a huff, she fumbled for the keys and unlocked the gate, muttering curses under her breath. Sophia walked through, head held high, but she wasn't done. Over the next week, she and Lila filed a formal complaint with the state's HOA Oversight Board, attaching evidence of Karen's overreach. Neighbors came forward with their own stories, fines for minor infractions, threats of foreclosure, even Karen's attempt to ban a family's autistic son from using the community playground. The board launched an investigation, and the local news picked up the story, painting Karen as the poster child for HOA tyranny. At the next HOA meeting, the room was packed. Karen sat at the front, her usual swagger gone, replaced by a nervous twitch. Sophia stood to speak, her voice steady. "This isn't just about me or my mailbox. It's about fairness. We pay to live here, not to be bullied. Karen's actions have divided us, but we can take back our community." The vote to remove Karen as HOA president was unanimous. She stormed out, her face a mask of humiliated fury, vowing to fight back. But the damage was done. The Oversight Board fined the HOA for Karen's actions, and she faced personal lawsuits from multiple neighbors. Her reign was over, and Maple Grove Estates began to heal, with new leadership focused on transparency and community. Sophia, though, never forgot the sting of that night at the gate. She framed the cease and desist letter and hung it in her home office, a reminder that even the smallest voice, armed with truth and determination, could topple a tyrant. Karen moved away months later. Her house sold quietly, her name a cautionary tale whispered among neighbors. And Sophia, she replaced her mailbox with an even bolder design, just to make a point. The end.